Salam alaikum. Welcome to your virtual library story time. The story I've chosen to read today is called The Perfect Nest. And as you can see, there's a cat on the cover, which is quite curious. So why do you think a cat is making a perfect nest? I'll just warn you, what you're guessing is probably not correct. So this story has some funny twists and turns, and I hope you enjoy it. It's written by Catherine Friend, illustrated by John Manders. The back cover art is quite cute. It says, "Whoops, you just passed the perfect nest." All right, so here's the barn at the farm, and here's some signs. Look, nest inside. The perfect nest. Jack the cat gathered together everything he needed, then built the perfect nest, dry and cozy and just the right size. Why would a cat need to build a nest? But the nest was not for Jack. With this perfect nest, he would attract a perfect chicken, who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet, for a cat like Jack. Soon enough, a chicken came along. So if you were thinking he wanted to attract a bird to eat, that's what I thought. In this story, he actually wants to make an omelet. So he wants to attract a bird to lay an egg to make an omelet. Caramba! She cried. A perfect nest! She hopped up and laid a small egg. Then a duck waddled by. Sacre bleu! She cried. The perfect nest! So the chicken, or the hen, speaks Spanish, and the duck speaks French. The duck pushed the chicken out, hopped up, and laid a medium-sized egg. Then a goose lumbered by. Great balls of fire, she cried. A perfect nest. It's an American goose. The goose pushed the duck out, hopped up, and laid a large egg. I wonder what Jack is thinking. Jack's mouth began to water. 3 eggs would make 3 omelets. But then the duck leaped onto the goose's back. This is my nest. The chicken flew up onto the duck. No, this is my nest. The 3 cackled and quacked and honked, but each refused to leave the perfect nest. They squished each other for days. Each day, Jack tried to get the birds off the eggs. Fire, fire, he cried. They didn't move. Flood, flood, he cried. They didn't move. Wolf, wolf, he cried. But the chicken, the duck, and the goose would not move. What's Jack dressed like? Little Red Riding Hood. And pretending this dog is a wolf. Finally, Jack stood before them. You birds are so silly. The next farm over has an even better nest, and it's empty. Why doesn't one of you go and use that nest? An empty nest? Cried the chicken. Without a goose to sit on my head? Caramba! Sacre bleu! Cried the duck. I am tired of smelling like the chicken. That nest is mine. Great balls of fire, cried the goose. Out of my way! And they all flapped away. Alone at last, Jack returned to the nest and peeked inside. He arranged the eggs neatly in a row. Small breakfast, medium breakfast, a lunch, and large dinner. Jack's stomach rumbled. But then, what's going to happen? Crack! the small egg broke open and out popped a wet baby chick who looked up at Jack and said, "Caramba, hola, mama." Crackety-snap, the medium-sized egg broke open and out scrambled a wet baby duck who looked up at Jack and said, "Sacre bleu, bonjour, mama." Crackety-crack, boom, the largest egg broke open and out stepped a wet baby goose who looked up at Jack and said, "Great balls of fire. Howdy, Ma." Jack stared at the babies. What was he to do? He couldn't make omelets out of them. "Try me, try me, try me," cried the soggy baby chick. "Feed me, feed me, feed me," cried the hungry baby duck. "Play, play, play," cried the excited baby goose. Jack hid in the barn. The three babies found him. Jack hid in the woods. The three babies found him. Jack hid under the tractor. I think they're going to find him there too. The three babies found him and dragged him back to the nest. Sleep, 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 the tired babies finally whispered. "Cold, cold, cold," said the shivering babies. Jack scratched his head. Someone had to care for these babies, but there was no one else around. Jack lifted all three babies into the nest. "Buenas noches, mama," said the baby chick. "Bonne nuit, mama," said the baby duck. "Sweet dreams, ma," said the baby goose. Then Jack climbed into the nest and the babies fell asleep. That's when he realized that this really was the perfect nest. The end. It's a funny story, but it's quite a sweet story too, especially the ending. And it makes me think that sometimes we think we know what we're doing and we have a plan, and then the plan ends up backfiring and totally changing, and sometimes it's actually a better solution than the one, or a better outcome than what we had planned in the first place. So I want you to try to think of something that's happened to you where you planned to do something and then something totally different happened and it ended up being better than you originally hoped. I have to say that right now we are all at home, and during the holiday we had planned to go on this exciting vacation snorkeling in Indonesia, and in the end, of course, we weren't able to travel because of what's happening in the world with COVID-19. And we had such a lovely holiday, and although it wasn't what we wanted and it wasn't what we planned, in the end I think it was the best for all, and we're safe, and we had a nice family time. We got to play lots of games and do puzzles and read lots of books. So sometimes when we don't plan, when things don't work out as we plan, we just have to be happy with the outcome, and it must be what's best for us. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the story, The Perfect Nest, and try to think of a time when you planned something and something totally different ended up happening, but it was a good ending. And share that with me if you can, all right? Take care. I hope you're reading. Check out Oxford Owl to read some ebooks, and let me know how you're doing. All right, guys. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.